As part of the large pelagics group, he is concerned with international governance strategy issues related to Atlantic bluefin tuna, swordfish, and marine turtles. His current research interests include understanding the life cycle and behavior of the Western Atlantic bluefin population, improving the Western Atlantic bluefin tuna stock, that's our fish, assessment through improved indices of abundance, and examining ocean climate influences on the distribution and abundance of Western Atlantic bluefin tuna. Please welcome Alex.
Thanks very much. I just would like to congratulate you all, the Wedgeport Museum, the town of Wedgeport, for putting on such a wonderful tournament. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. The enthusiasm of the volunteers, the energy that you're putting out to host this thing is just phenomenal. And I really hope that I'll be given the opportunity to come back in the years to come so I can collect more samples. The other thing is I want to thank you for being such good hosts for my family. I brought my son and my wife and my crew. We had Duraj, Irene, Christine, and Angela. They were all busy collecting heads over by the freezer trucks and stuff. Now I just want to say a few words about the bluefin tuna. And I think we all really appreciate the species. I know, not just because it's such a fun fish to angle, but there's more to it than that. We understand quite a bit about its biology. Things, little interesting facts like it can swim at a speed of 45 miles per hour over 20 seconds. And just to put that into context, Michael Phelps, the Olympic medalist, he could swim about 4.5 miles per hour at his top speed, which would be slightly faster than a goldfish, as it turns out. Yeah. We have an appreciation for what the fish eats, but I think we're surprised all the time by what turns up in its stomach. Like last year I was told that they'd found lobsters. Today I was shown photographs of what looked like hagfish and wolffish, and typically we expect mackerel and squid and herring. We know that a 500-pound bluefin tuna traveling up the Straits of Florida can be expected to gain about 250 pounds by the time it returns to the Gulf of Mexico in the fall. That's a lot of weight. That's a 50% increase. We know that we can catch the fish in water temperatures that range from 3 to 29 degrees Celsius. So you can pretty much catch it over both Atlantic Oceans, the north and the south, which is pretty amazing, really. The thing that mystifies us is that over the 50 some odd years of commercial fishing by, say, the Japanese longline fleet, that there's never any area that's been dominant in terms of a location you can consistently go to catch bluefin tuna. A notable example would be the case of Brazil. Back in the early 60s, there was a huge catch of tuna off the coast of Brazil. It lasted for 5 or 6 years and then it was gone, and we're really not sure what happened. There's another case off of Bermuda, the same period of time, lots of fish, and then they're gone. Recently off Iceland, from about 1992 to 2006 or so, again, a large catch, and then they're gone. I don't know if you realize what happened in Norway, for example. They had a huge fishery 1953 to the early 60s. They just disappeared. And from your own experiences out here in Wedgeport that they can come and go as they please. So part of our role here, working behind those trucks in the shade there, is to try to understand a little bit more about what the fish are doing, where they're going. One of the big issues for us is to understand whether or not the population that we're fishing at the current time, the western population, is distinct from the eastern population, or if they're mixing together. So by taking your tuna heads and opening them up and taking out that little ear bone, we call it the otolith, we can section it and look at it under a microscope and see the rings, which gives us, if we count them, it gives us the age of the fish. The spacing between the rings tells us how fast it's growing. And if we take a little bit of a sample right from the core of that otolith and analyze it, we can actually tell where the fish was spawned or where it hatched out. So we had a whole bunch of samples that were caught, of fish caught off the Carolinas in the Atlantic Bight, and in 2003, and that year class turns out to be a dominant year class, and we haven't seen anything like it in years, and we're just crossing our fingers that those fish are western fish, and that they will, as they progressively age, they'll appear in our waters, and then, you know, you'll benefit from that in your tournament for sure. But yeah, so far the samples from those fish have shown that there may be about 2/3 west, and a third of them come from the Mediterranean. We just have to figure out whether those Mediterranean fish join our fish, or if they actually return back to the Mediterranean. The other thing that you may have seen me remove from the fish was that dorsal spine. If we cut that and we can section it, we can age the fish using the spine as well. And that's just a way to, a secondary measure of the age that we can use it as a backup if we don't have a head. Yeah, and possibly the last thing, the last reason why I came here was to access your archives. You've got just a phenomenal record of tuna fishing that dates back to 1937, and just today I discovered a record of like a log from the guy that I guess a wharfinger or something. His name was Isaac Potier. Anyways, he kept a careful record of all the fish that were caught in every month and every year up until the tuna left, and we just, if we can access that, we can get a better appreciation for what the possible distribution of the tuna might be in the years to come. Anyways, I know you must be anxious to get on with your ceremony, so I'll just cut it short there, and I just thank you again for all the kindness and the support you've given us, and best wishes in the years to come.